Jonathan, I wanted to start you off with the classic media day question. Can be anybody from any of the three phases, but just wanted to see in your mind who is kind of primed for a breakout season this year.
I would say I'm really excited about Jesse. He's always been a hard worker. He's always taken his film study seriously, and obviously with Micah leaving, his reps have been increasing a lot. I'm really excited about Jesse for sure.
Go to Evan.
Hey, Jonathan. So I wanted to ask you about Jaquan Brisker, and specifically what in your mind makes him a unique football player, and what has he brought to the program overall since he got here?
I would just say his versatility and his athleticism. He's a great athlete. Ever since he stepped here on campus, he's been a hard worker as well. So those two together just make him great.
David?
How you doing, Jonathan?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about the secondary in general. What do you guys need to do to improve on last year? And I guess, how are you working on that kind of in this unique situation here?
Yeah, I would say one thing from last year is our communication, and we've been doing a great job. Obviously, not having spring ball, we've had to come closer together as a unit. And these past few practices, or however long we've been practicing, we've been coming together during individual periods and working together and just getting that communication down. So that's been helping us a lot.
All right, Brett.
Quite frankly, that was the same question I was going to ask you. I'm going to go back to my notes and see if I got another one for you.
You can go to Evan if you want to wait, Brett.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
So another guy I wanted to ask you about specifically is Joey Porter Jr. And just what has his personality been like since he got to campus, and what has he added to the locker room?
Yeah, Joey's a great dude. He's a funny guy. Obviously really athletic, really great size. He's a competitor. He comes out to practice each day, and tries to get better. And that's what I admire about him.
David?
Yeah, I wanted to follow up on before. When you say communication, do you mean, talking while the play is going on? Do you mean talking before the snap? I mean, what's important about that?
So I'm talking about pre-snap communication between corners and safeties, and pretty much pre-snap communication and how our techniques and what we expect from different formations or whatnot, and just talking about that pre-snap.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else, David?
Sure.
It's your show now.
I guess, with some of your veterans, having left with John and Garrett, I mean, who are you guys going to be looking to start that discussion before the snap to kind of lead on the field with some of the leaders having departed here?
I mean, the expectation for whoever's on the field, the standard. I mean, anyone who's on the field is held accountable for communication. So it's not an older guy, veteran thing. It's whoever's on the field is held accountable for communication pre-snap. So.
And how do you practice that? Is that something that you just, you're lining up in practice and you do it, or is there more to it than that?
So it's obviously emphasizing that during our skelly periods, our team periods, and even before that, just coming out, talking to each other, what to expect. But yeah, it all plays a role in that. So.
And before I go, I just wanted to get your take kind of on the position battle there. For that other safety spot alongside Lamont. How's that going? And what's your take on that moving into the season?
Everyone's coming to practice regardless, to get better and to obviously, gain the most amount of reps as possible. And that comes through consistency. So all the guys are coming out, including myself, trying to battle, obviously, and show the coaches that we're dependable, so to speak. So.
Has that been hard to do up to this point without having, your standard practices that you might be used to?
I would say so. I mean, regardless of how we've been practicing, we've been getting reps. We've been getting skelly reps, team reps, all these, one-on-one reps. So it's just more of a chance, more chances to show what we have. So
Appreciate it, Jonathan. Thank you.
no problem.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, we can. We'll just hang out here for a while. So,
All right, cool.
People are moving around, so hopefully someone will pop in here soon.
What's up, Jonathan? How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm well, man. Thank you for the time, man. Walk me through whenever that first tackle you made, whether it was on Wednesday or recently, just what it felt like wearing the helmet, wearing the pads, and getting a good thud in on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, putting our pads on like for the first time, and it's been a while because we didn't do spring ball. It felt really good, just getting acclimated to that again. And yeah, it was just a blessing and really humbling.
And then can I follow up real quick, Mark?
Yep.
Then from
Go
there.
around, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll come back.
Audrey?
Hey, Jonathan, I've been asking all your teammates this as well. NCAA is going to allow players to put messaging on their jerseys this year for social injustices. If you could pick one individual message on your jersey, what would that be and why? I mean, I know it's going to be a team message, but individually, what would you want it to say?
Honestly, I would have to think about that a little bit more. Obviously, there would be many options available, but that's kind of something I would have to sit back and really think on before making a final decision, I would say.
And if I may take that in a different direction, then you were on a podcast talking about the election and voting, and obviously as a Canadian, kind of your view on it. How do you go through all of this when your teammates are having discussions and all these kinds of things? You guys were seeing videos with Penn State encouraging people to vote, but you're coming from it from a different angle. So how do you kind of balance all that when you're like, hey, it's not my election?
Yeah, I mean, although I can't vote, I'm still living in the United States. So obviously, I'm going to be impacted by whatever legislations are being put forth. So I just take it as an opportunity just to discuss with, my American teammates, friends, etc. Just the voting process and all about the details of it and things like that. So.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks for your time. About when Penn State made the announcement this week about the special teams and the number 0, what was your reaction? And also, who do you think would be the best candidate for that number?
My reaction was it was pretty cool, obviously with that new number coming out, and the tradition that's behind it. Obviously there's plenty of guys who are capable of wearing that number because we have a lot of work and disciplined and accountable players on our team. So really up for grabs.
Dustin Hawkinsmith?
Hey, Jonathan, could you just describe for me the competition at safety now? Is it still pretty open, would you say? And how do you guys kind of intensely compete with each other there, but kind of keep in mind that you're still teammates, you're still working towards the same cause?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's known that collectively, we're a unit and we're only going to get each other better, obviously, through our work ethic during practice, on the field and off the field. But ultimately, every opportunity we get during practice is an opportunity to showcase why our coaches could depend on us. So ultimately, we're working together to get each other better. And every time we have a chance to obviously compete out there on the field, whether it's every team period, one-on-one period, we're trying to show the coaches that obviously we're dependable.
John Sauber?
Hey, Jonathan, have you noticed anyone standing out in the cornerback competition? Is there anyone sort of separating themselves from the pack as the new starter next to Tariq Castro Fields?
I mean, I would say we have a bunch of corners that have been competing at a high level ever since we started practicing. Obviously, Joey Porter, Keenan Ellis, Marquise Wilson, all those guys have been coming in every single day and competing. So I've been liking what I've seen out of all of them.
All right, we'll go to Ryan Parsons.
Hey, Jonathan, kind of following up on that question about the number 0. A lot of your teammates yesterday mentioned you as a guy who would be a good candidate. Would you be honored to wear that number, or what would that mean to you?
Yeah, it would obviously, it'd be a blessing. But I would, regardless if I'm wearing 0, 26, or 99, I would still go about the same way I do, and I would still approach each practice and each game the same way. But obviously, it'd be a great blessing for sure.
All right, we'll go to Bias. Just quickly, 5-minute warning, everyone.
Gotcha. Jonathan, two part. Like, walk me through that first weekend of football games, but you guys didn't know you were playing. What was it like watching it? And then what was it like watching once you guys did know you were playing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when our season got canceled, and then on Saturdays, we would turn on the TV and watch everyone else playing. Like, we should be playing right now. It was really hard. But when we got that go and our season got, they re-announced our season, obviously it was really exciting just to know that we'll be playing on Saturdays as well. So I think that just added more motivation and passion towards it.
All right, let's go to Rich Garcella.
Jonathan, I want to ask you about two guys who play in front of you, Brandon Smith and Lance Dixon. How have you seen them develop over the last year and a half or so, and what do you expect from them this year?
Yeah, I've seen a lot out of Brandon and Lance. They come to practice every day to work hard, and they're obviously open to criticism, and they want to get better every single day. And just to see their growth has been pretty impressive.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, Jonathan, how are you doing today?
We're good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Hey, I just wanted to ask you a question. I understand this season is, unconventional in many ways with the pandemic. You all are going to begin playing later in October. There's a strict Big Ten coronavirus protocol that teams must follow, before they can play or continue to play. What are some of the ways that you see your teammates kind of holding each other accountable with the social distancing and masking up, on and off campus?
Yeah, I would say not only our teammates, but also our athletic staff and everyone, our coaches have been playing a big role in that. Obviously, we have the Big Ten guidelines. We're getting tested like every single day now. But just people holding each other accountable within the building, making sure that we're being sanitary, we're obviously keeping our distance and whatnot. And guys holding each other accountable outside of the facility by obviously, not going out, not doing anything that would jeopardize our team or whatnot. So that's been working really well for all of us.
Dustin?
Jonathan, I wanted to get your thoughts. Pass defense was kind of a subject last year where there were some vulnerabilities and some struggles in the second half of the year. Where did you feel like those struggles came from? And what have you guys been doing that might be a little bit different this summer and fall to try to address those things specifically?
Yeah, so I would say one thing that we've been approaching this year, obviously not having spring ball or whatnot, is our communication between the safeties and the corners and our pre-snap communication, just recognizing certain formations and talking about what we may be getting out of them before the snap. And then obviously post-snap, after the play is done, talking with one another of what kind of look we got, et cetera, and then obviously how we can defend that. So I say our pre-snap communication, most definitely been working on that since practices have started. A lot better.
All right, folks. So we're going to have to cut it off there as the room will be closing in a matter of seconds. So thanks, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Jonathan. for your time today. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you guys.